Oh, yeah, this is our midweek review, and this is Pastor John. Oh, hey, no, I'm just joking, but I am talking about Moses this month, right? And this is Mr. John's Bible Fun, and we are excited to be here. I am not tired, I got plenty of rest, and that's kind of what we are talking about today. Now, like I said, Moses and the Israelites, they've left Egypt, and all the things that we've talked about in the past, from the Red Sea to the grumbling all through the desert, and everything that happens in between has been going on. But Moses and the Israelites are trudging through what they call the wilderness. Now, when we hear the word wilderness, the first thing that usually comes to our minds is some jungle-like area with lots of orangutans and monkeys and birds and things flying around in the trees and Tarzan, oh, right? We think that is a wilderness. But this is a term they use for vast areas. And so this was basically a large area that was a desert. Just dry. Remember, they're walking through, and we told you it was hot, and they constantly were out of water. And so if you were in a jungle, there would be probably a lot of resources, a lot of water around to feed the trees and for the trees to get water. And there would probably be a lot of food around. So if we think of wilderness that way, it kind of doesn't make sense. But when we understand that the wilderness is this vast area of like desert type, there's no real water around, no real food around, and so they're wandering or traveling through all this, right? But have you ever, now I pretended to be super tired, right? When I started this, have you ever stayed up really, really, really late and then you had to go to school the next day? And you go to school and you get up and you really don't want to get out of bed, and you're tired, and you may be a little grumpy. Some of us get a little grumpy when we don't get enough sleep. I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but I don't know anybody who gets grumpy when they don't get enough sleep. But I'm just gonna put it out there that there are a few of us, right? You also, your body just doesn't seem to want to go. And then you get to school and you're dragging, and everybody's like, like this, and you're going through the motions of school, trying to make it through the day. And then you get into the class where the teacher's up at the board and she's writing, and you're not falling asleep, but mentally your brain is somewhere else. It is just you can't concentrate, you can't think straight. And then you go to gym class and your body is physically tired and you just cannot get the body going. You love gym. Hey, it's dodgeball day and you just are not up to the dodgeball. You just are not moving like you normally move. But that is what rest can do for us. Now, it's funny that God and Moses have this relationship, right? Moses, when they were traveling, he took along with him this tent, and it was called the tent of meeting. And they would walk however long they would walk, wherever they would walk, and however long it took them to do this walk in a day. But every night, Moses would put up this tent of meeting, and then he would go inside. And guess who he would be talking to at night for probably preparing for the next day? And that was God. God showed up in a mighty way. He came to the tent of meeting every night as a cloud, and they would talk about. And God does something with Moses. He's like, Moses, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be walking through the desert to get to the promised land. It's gonna take you a long time. He goes, but every night when you come in here, you will get rest. And I love that. we tend to think that we are just able to go and go and go and go. And we're more, if you think about it, our bodies are kind of like remote control car. Think about it. We need fresh batteries a lot of times, and we also sometimes may need gas, right? So if we think about batteries as rest, right? When we run our remote control car, we get it, we run it, and it's going crazy all over the place. And then all of a sudden, the car starts to sputter and it starts to slow way down. And our first thought is we need to check gas, right? We need to see if our remote control car needs some kind of fuel, right? So we'll add that. And for that, the fuel for the Israelites was more the water and food, right? In this aspect. But it was also rest. Now think about it. When our batteries run out in our remote control car, most remote control cars don't run on water, gasoline, or a burrito, right? They don't run on that. They run on batteries. And when you run a remote control car for a long period of time, we get that sputtering and it just isn't going as fast. Or you got a hill and it just doesn't seem to want to climb the hill like it did before, or pull something that you wanted to pull, or go as fast as we want it to go. Because the batteries in it are starting to drain. That is the fuel to get the remote control car to go. So as the batteries drain, we need to do something. We need to recharge the batteries. So you take your battery out of your remote control car, you put them into your charger, and you plug that in, giving it a power source and letting that battery recharge. So the next day when you want to play with your remote control car, it's fresh as a daisy and it's going fast and up hills and pulling whatever you want it to pull, right? In the same way, that's how we run. Now, we need fuel like food, water, things like that, but we also need rest. Our bodies will tend to shut down, to slow down, and not move as fast as it normally would if we don't have rest. And God knew this. God knew that we needed to be recharged with some rest, some sleep every night, and just to recharge some batteries to get through the next day full of speed, being able to go up the hills we need to go and pull whatever it is we need to pull. We need to take care of our bodies in this way. I think a lot of times when we're young, we think about, oh, I don't need to do these type of things. I don't need a nap. Naps are for little kids. But when your body starts to wear down and your mind starts to get that little fog, you're taking a test when you're super tired. That's why when your teacher has like assessment tests or something like that, they tell you, get a good night's sleep. Don't stress, just relax. And don't worry about it, just rest. So you come in, your mind is fresh and it's clear. It's not fogged with just this, so tired, right? We don't have that. So guys, not only is rest good for us, I want you to think about it as this way. God wants us to get good rest. And it's biblical that we get good rest. So we can be fresh when we need to be. So guys, Moses took this seriously. When he was in the tent of meeting, he would talk to God, they would figure out the day, and then God would let Moses rest. So guys, I hope you're getting plenty of rest. I know Halloween is coming up this week. I hope you guys go out, you get all the candy that you can. I hope you get full-size candy bars at every house you go to. But guys, here's what I pray and I hope is that when you go out and you trick or treat or whatever it is you do on Halloween or Fall Fest or whatever you call it, just be safe. And guys, when you're done, don't go gobbling all that candy because you got school the next day. Get some rest. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye. I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Isaiah 43:19.